going on at the moment. I haven't been paying all that much attention, to be fair. I'll wait until the result comes, but it's going to be interesting to see what it does in relation to the market, or what effect it potentially has on the market. And I want to go through a few things. Obviously, we're going to go through our whole list and look to find ourselves what opportunities are present at the moment. But before I do that, I know many of you are watching through the Gate Live platform, and you might not have gone through this process. Now, I want to show you something before I show you how to get to it. What you've got down here is a 4-part education series, okay? There are 4 chapters, all 4 are there now. So you can go through that in the space of what, I mean, about 6 hours or so, 6-7 hours, and you can have a complete trading strategy. And you can see here is some of the bonus factors for that particular strategy, and that's how I'm going to be going through this scan to help you guys. For those that have already done it, I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, it's about now bringing that together and really showing where the rubber hits the road and finding out those opportunities. How do you get to this 4-part series? Well, you quite simply just come to here, gate.io. You put your details in here and away you go. The next page, once you have clicked there, it just takes you to here. And then you can go ahead and watch those videos to bring yourself up to speed. So let us have a look at Bitcoin right now. Yesterday we closed above 14,000, the first time in a very long time. And as much as it has looked like Bitcoin might have wanted to pull back, it seems to buck that trend. Yesterday's close was up around that 3% mark, and it was quite impressive, to be fair. Quite a good surge at the back end of the day after starting the day down a couple of percent at one stage as well. So, you know, we are coming off a little bit here, off of 14,000. I can still suggest that potentially, you know, we're sort of at a point of flux, is what I'd probably say about Bitcoin right now, is because there is the potential for a pullback to 12,000. There's also the way this candle looks right now, there's nothing stopping us from going to 15 by the end of the weekly close. It's not been a huge move as far as Bitcoin is concerned. It's moved well, 10 to 4,000, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. And I'm really looking forward to this election being sort of out of the way and having a nice clean result. Whatever comes of that, hopefully it's nice and calm so that we can get back to what Bitcoin has been doing and the market, the greater market largely as well. So I'm going to move to the 4 here, and again, I'll just show you the conditions haven't been fantastic for us traders when it comes to cradle trades. You know, we had a nice little trend over here, but look through here, we do have a higher low, and we do have a higher high, but the moving averages are not quite in the right order just yet. And if I go lower, again, we look at this cyclicity, and it has been a bit all over the shop today. I mean, that could be election type stuff, I don't know. This was how we started the morning, whack straight up, and then we came down pretty much straight away as well. And we've sort of been a little bit topsy-turvy. A little bullish candle right there in the cradle zone there, but I'm not looking to trade that. All right, it's not got the cyclicity and that chart structure that I'm really after. I'm just going to take all of my watch lists. So when I put at the start, it goes into my favorites list. I'm just going to take all of them out because we're going to reset that again right now. I had actually meant to get a video out to you guys this morning to show you a snapshot of the morning, do a commentary on that, and then do one again in the afternoon. But my youngest daughter was, she's still sick, so I had to spend the morning with her and get her to the doctors, which hopefully she gets better soon. So from Bitcoin, we move on to Ethereum. Again, I'm going to start here at that daily, and you can see it is a little bit of a, well, I mean, look, in 2 days, what's that move? I mean, we've gone from the high a couple of days back at 404 to a low. I mean, we've got an 8% swing over the space of 2 days. Quite wild. If I come now to the 4, again, the first objective for anything that I'm doing is to find a nice clean trend. And I just don't see it right there on that 4 hour. The 1 hour, once again, still a bit sticky and a little bit messy as it has been throughout the day. Not much to really add to Ethereum there. We'll jump back out to the daily again as soon as the chart comes up. There we go. Right. So we looked at this last week as it was grinding. You know, it was moving high. It was doing its thing. It wasn't looking too bad at all. Look at this 4 hour. See what I mean by trend? Look, it's divergent on the 4 hour, but we do have that cyclicity. pull back, bullish candle, move, pull back, move, pull back, move, pull back, little move, and so on and so forth. Let's have a look at what this little run lately has produced. There's a clear trend. Round number of $20. I wonder if it looks any better at the 30. Oh, no, I think I'll stick with the 1 hour, but what I would like to see is I'd love to see a little bullish candle down here. So if this comes down, closes around here somewhere, a little bullish candle off of that $20 mark in that cradle zone with that convergence, you know, that would have my attention. That would be something of interest for me. At the moment, it's going in the list, and I'll go back to the daily and go to the next one. All right, let's go to the 4 here so we get a little bit more information. Lower, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be too impressed by that. A little bit messy. It's not really doing too much. I can move straight past Filecoin in that case. Oh, this could look really nice. Okay. I believe I think that's going to close the top of the hour. Which will be what 53 minutes away, and that is a nice little bearish candle. Let me look at that 1 hour again. See what we've got here. Okay, there's a lower high. If it breaks down through there, we do have that trend that will be now in a downtrend or back in a downtrend. If you look at EOS here, we broke that $2.40 mark, and we are looking a lot more bearish. There is momentum there. I'm going to pop that in because I think that does look quite attractive for when that candle does close. So I'll be keeping an eye on that and putting that into my watch list. Dot. We're going to start at the daily, and if we can't nominate a trend, I will not, look to go any further because there is no point. Lower high, we did not break to a lower low. Therefore, it's going to be rather caught up in here. It's not looking fantastic. There is a lower high, there is a lower low, but it's not a chart that I'm really all that interested in at the moment, and I wouldn't, the lower time frames don't. Not that I don't add anything. Bitcoin Cash. Okay, back to that daily. It has come off. We got a lower high, not the greatest of lower highs. Let's be honest. It's just it's just sort of rolled over, but that's fine. There's momentum to the downside after a fair old wedge is selling yesterday. The 4 hour, no, I'm not in massive cahoots with that trend, and the 1 hour. There's nothing that I can see that's worthwhile working with there either. Oh wow, look at this. Divergent, that's the issue. Maybe the 8 hour looks good. There is a downtrend, there's no doubt. Look at this daily. Beautiful little cradle back here that we talked of back at the earlier stages of, the latter stages. What are we now? We're in November. Yeah, a couple of weeks back is probably the easiest way to put it. That little bearish candle in that downtrend. Now, it certainly wasn't convergent, I can tell you that much, but we looked at that. I want something like that, but it's got to fit all the rules, not just some of the rules. Now, therefore, if the daily was to pull back into this cradle zone, yeah, I'd be keen as, but it's not. Again, look at this moving average zone that I trade from, right? Back in, moves away, back in, moves away, back in, moves away. Sorry, it wasn't the daily one. It was this one we were talking about a couple of weeks back. I recall it's not a red candle, but it certainly is bearish when you go through that part 2 and you learn the anatomy of a candlestick and the story that it tells, then that is clearly a bearish candle. It's moved very, very nicely. Another one was right there. What do I like about it? 4 hour. Ooh, problem I got with the 4 is the trend's not really that great. I'll tell you what I will do. I'll keep an eye on the, what am I up to? Uni. I'll keep an eye on that on the 8 hour and the daily. So I'll put that in, but it's going to take some time, but that's okay. Huobi or however you say that. Lower high, lower low. Look, a lot of selling coming in here. This could get quite, it needs to pull back, doesn't it? We'll have to go to the lower time frames and then inspect that. It's a bit caught around that 350 mark, although there is some very strong selling pressure going on that we can clearly see on the daily. I do require it to pull back a little bit to offer me opportunity. Litecoin. Again, the last few days, look at this. It's all over the place. It's quite choppy. I'm looking for those conditions to improve. I'll go to the 1. I'm not interested here. Again, the trend is not clear enough. We have a higher low and the lower high potentially there. I want to see cyclicity. I want to see a better trend. Okay. BSV's falling. Let's look at that 8 and see. Yeah, there's a nice little lower high there. Can't argue with that. That would be a nice level to be looking for shorts off of. Why? Let me show you why. Okay, if I was to pop that in through there, 155. If I look at it on the 4-hour, that would be a lovely place for a little bearish candle, and I will watch that. I don't want it to fall too much further from where it is now, otherwise it would set itself a potential lower, potential for a higher low, and I don't want that. I want that candle, but I want it up here further. So I'll keep an eye on that and wait and see if I do get that later on. Oh, wow. Wowee, that's a great trend, moving very, very nice. The 8's got a little bit of work to do, but I'd certainly be happy to take it off the 8 if it did present itself. It's not done so yet. Not much on the lowers. I'm going to pop this in, like even on the 4-hour, you know, we do have these lower highs and lower lows coming in really nicely. A trade off of this 43-cent mark would be something that I'd be keen on if it was to fit the rules. I will put that in the list. Not a bad looking trend there at all. And this is the thing that we're seeing at the moment is that Bitcoin's been holding its ground and climbing. The Bitcoin dominance has become, Bitcoin's dominance has become a much more uptrending market, uptrending trend. Just I can't seem to string a word together at the moment. The whole idea behind that is to understand that, you know, when I'm looking across the market, and I do this 5 days a week with my clients, okay, on tradercobb.com, what I do is I get a real understanding for what's going on. And I'm sure I can see a Bitcoin dominance chart and go, okay, well, you know, Bitcoin's dominant because it shows it on the chart. But you can also just see it in the market, because I can tell you right now, when it comes to trading against US dollar tether, there are a lot of downtrends, an awful lot of downtrends. There's very few strong uptrends. That's okay, because we're looking at this as a margin list, so we can go short, not a problem. But Bitcoin is the market that's holding. Everything else seems to be giving it back quite consistently over the last couple of weeks, or at least the last week or so. Zcash, is there anything here that I'm interested in? We're sitting around some support there. I probably wouldn't be on any time frame, to be fair. Let me just double check that. Just checking the levels. I just can't see back up into 56. That would be the only option. Is that an option that I'm willing to take if it were to occur? Yeah, probably. Look, the 8 hour is the only time frame that I'd exercise right now if it were to set up. I don't have a crystal ball, but what I do have is a downtrend, and I'll stick with that. I'll work with that, and I'll see what I get from that. XRP on the daily, very messy, not interested. Look at these big candles, spiking, spiking, spiking. That's not a good chart for me to be trading. I will leave that alone. Sushi, okay, that's dropped nicely. Let's go lower. So to plan this, so I always look to plan my trade and trade my plan. I teach people how to run a trading business as opposed to just, you know, read technical analysis. There's a lot more to it than that. That's why I've got checklists, you see, because checklists are a way that you can practice and know that you're doing the right thing, executing flawlessly. If I drop that in there, that level is interesting to me. Let me look at this 8 hour. Yeah, that is a great looking level. What a fall from grace, huh? It was only a couple of months ago that you were getting uni for free. Oh, sorry, sushi, not it was uni. That sushi was going absolutely nuts on that whole farming, you know, bonanza. Now it's at 50 cents. Just a harsh reality of understanding how markets operate and the environment for which we are working within. You know, what goes up often comes down. So just be aware of that. When you do get good profits, don't be scared to lock those profits in. I really like this trade. I like that if it was, sorry, I shouldn't say trade. I really like this chart. If it would have pulled back into this region up into here, small bearish candle fitting the rules, yeah, I'd be keen. Starting to build a bit of a solid watch list here. Because you know why? Well, We got downtrends. Zero, no. Look how sideways that is. I'll just show it to you so you know that there's, when I do skip it, there's no point. See, look at this. By looking at the daily and seeing what the daily presents me, I know the 4 hour is not going to look any good. Okay, so I'm going to go past that. Link, what do you got for me, Link? All right, this could be nice. Lower high here, low. Right, let's go to the 8 first and foremost. All right, not looking that amazing. Yeah, okay, well, it did have a bit of promise. I'm going to leave. I'll leave. I'll come back to that tomorrow and when I do my next scan. And that's a good thing about doing these scans with me is that you can build a watch list and you don't have to do it all. You can just jump in and make a watch list and keep an eye on that if you're very time poor. That's what you're sort of here for, is to help people that are time poor. Most of the traders that we got are working full time. They just trade little times that they've got and they just do it with structure. Atom daily, no. 4 hour. I will leave Atom. I don't see there being anything good there in the sense of looking at trend. Oh, lovely Tron. Beautiful downtrend. Beautiful down. I mean, there's not much. Can I add anything to that? I'm going to pop that in because look, this could represent an opportunity. Stop up here, entry there. Follow your rules, of course. But that could, if you are comfortable with that and you understand those rules, that could be good on the turn, also on the close of that candle. BTM. There is a downtrend. I don't like to see the spikes on these candles, those wicks. I don't really love them. Look at this beautiful pullback in, very strong drop. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been, a lot of these have been occurring, these moves have been occurring when I haven't been there. And that's just part of life. Sometimes you're Johnny on the spot, sometimes you're not. But the strategies have been performing quite well lately. I'm going to leave BTM. It doesn't have the structure I'm after right now. To be honest, I'd like to see it push down further and then get a pullback just to clear itself out a little bit from these wicks. That's the sort of thing I'm thinking at the moment anyway. Oh, 6% up. Did that say 6%? It did. Oh, I see. Geez, that must have been a huge day then, eh? Daily looks a little bit flat. We'll jump straight to the 4. There is a downtrend. Good. That's a really nice looking chart. Lower high, lower low. It's pulled back into the right area. Absolutely, guys. That looks really nice. I'm looking at the 4 hour. The 4 hour looks good. I have to put that in the list. There's no way I can deny that. Bitcoin, is it BCD Bitcoin Diamond? It is Bitcoin Diamond. Okay, daily looks like it's come off quite a bit. Oh, it certainly has. Looking at that a bit wicky. When I say wicky, look at these spikes. Don't like that. Hit the 4, a little bit funky. I'm going to be leaving Bitcoin Diamond. It's not one that really stands out to me as having that sort of cyclicity and trend that I'm really interested in. Tezos, look at this. Retested that level and sold off way too quickly for us though. Unless you know my Fibonacci booster strategy, there was no chance of anything going on there. Now looking at where we are, because we're sort of in flux between breaking this low and sort of halfway, it's not a chart, again, for me, that I'm going to be putting into my watch list. This beam. Okay, let's look at this 8 quickly. Tell you what, I'm not overly excited about the way the chart looks, but in saying that, I will put it in there because if it were to pull back up into these old lows, look at this. Again, I'll just draw in this this one here. That's the place, right? Support 1, 2, 3, breaks down. I'm not saying it's a breakout trade. It wouldn't fit my other trading strategy rules for a breakout. However, right now it wouldn't matter because the break, even if it was good, it's already gone. I'm looking for the pullback into there. Now, if you know how to use fibs, pop that in there. I think we might go to 61.8. Bang on the nose. Perfect. Yeah, so there's a double up in there. And you get 61.8 also coinciding with the old level of support, which can act as resistance as well. So a little bearish candle up into there. That's the sort of thing that I'm after. Beam, yep, it's on the list for sure. Ontology is the next one. Going out now to the daily, it's been downtrending marvelously well for quite some time. You know, again, pulling back in and moving, back in and moving. That is why this strategy works, because it's built around the way the market works. We just got to wait for those opportunities. Ontology, I can leave that. There's nothing there that really captures my attention as to being, fantastically ready at the moment. Ethereum Classics just comes straight off. It's as simple as that. I mean, look, you can even use this on the weekly, back into that cradle and it moves. You know, it's stuff that you can use as an investor. It's stuff that you can use as a trader. You don't necessarily need to be spending a lot of time. You just need to know what you're going to do when you've got that time. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm not going to have Ethereum Classic in my watch list. It's not quite ready for me. Okay, OKB, what do we got down there? Okay, a couple of tests around that $4 mark. We just touched it there. Where's my line? Oops, I don't want to do that. No, I want a horizontal one, please. Okay, I'm just going to reference point that line, or that level, sorry. I'm not putting it into my list. It's not quite there, but I would like to see some more liquidity come in. See, it looks a little bit gappy sometimes. I want to see it come back into there, but I want to see it do it with a little bit more liquidity, a little bit clearer chart structure. What was that from? It looks like it might have been just a, yep, no, that was a mistake. Lovely downtrend there though, isn't it? Nice, back in, bearish candle, move. Let's look at that 8, because the cyclicity might be really nice there. That candle up here would have been the ultimate. Did not happen. Again, you know, it's a great downtrend. I'll put it in. I'll put it. This is going to be the biggest watch list we've ever had. The daily, a bit flat there on this, not the strongest of trends. So yeah, I will move on. Great. It's just it's a little bit too far away from the zone, you know, so getting back into there. So I won't be putting that in today. I will be inspecting that tomorrow and hoping to see a little bit of a pullback there so we can get an entry or potential entry anyway. On to AE, or Eternity, I think it's called. Round number right there, 10 cents. Let's just jump back to that 8 and see if we're established there. I'm not a huge fan of it. No, it's not one that I'm going to add to my list either. On to Binance next. Okay. Maybe the 8. Oh, again, no, it's not quite got what I'm after there. Oh, hang on, what have I done? No, I'm in the right spot. Yeah, sorry. I thought I might have already looked at this one. I have not. Okay, the 8 hours trending. It's not really knocking the lights out, though. It's not the greatest. I do like it very much on the daily. On the 4 hour, look, I'd like to see it fall further. I'd like to see it fall further and carry that momentum through a little bit further than what we are currently. MDA messy up here. That's a straight no for me. ATP. Wild, big. No, I don't like that because the candles are big. They are a little bit all over the shop, and it's not something that I want to be trading. MBL, this is a lovely downtrend as well. It might have offered an opportunity here on the 8, and there it is right there. Look, little bearish candle in the cradle. Off we go. Profit is there. Now, due to the fact that that has rolled over so nicely, and that trend is sitting quite pretty, how have I gone for? Yeah, we're convergent. Then I will put that in. MBL, where are you? Where'd you vanish to? There we go. MBL goes in. Cardano. What? Why are you doing that to me? Where am I? Yep. Cardano. One of the few that's currently up at the moment for the day. It's neither a strong downtrend or a strong uptrend. It's easy for me to just avoid that and go straight past. Ant, a little bit funky there. It's going to look a little bit, yeah, I can't, there's nothing that I can really look to honestly be trading there from a margin perspective. Don't forget all these are open for hodling as well, but I follow trends. I trade where money is there to be made. And for me, at the moment, for the most part, it's to the short side. Okay, from the 1 day to the 8 hour, not too interested there either. Whoopsie. There we go. Where am I? Why is it doing that? Okay. OM. Bit divergent on all those time frames. Again, divergent as we make a lower low in price. See, low, new lower low. Look at the MACD. Drop it down. Drop it down. It's a higher low, clearly higher low on the cost though. So it's, for me, it's a straight no based on that very strong divergence. It just stops me from getting involved in trades that might be showing some weakness. That's what I use it for. Doge is quite a mess there on that daily, to be absolutely fair with you guys. Am I interested on the 8 hour? Not when it's got these wicks and these spikes. It's not something that I like too much on that 8 hour. That being said, maybe the 4 hour can twist my arm a little bit because we do have a lovely little bearish candle in that zone. Are we convergent on this low? I don't think we are. We are not. I can go past it. See what I mean? Like these, for those of you who have not gone to tradercobb.com/gate.io, registered and got yourself access to that course, everything that I'm going through here, it's all the same. It's all taught on that course. Leo, there's not much going on there. So you can go and get access to it. And I highly suggest that you do the free course on the website too. It's, at tradercobb.com. It's very, very simple. All you got to do is go and put your name and number in there. Sorry, your name and email, and we give you your membership, and then you can go and watch it. GXS. That big candle there does not look great. I think based on that, let me just confirm that. I don't think I know. That's not the 4. Let me just see if I can. Okay, there's a lower high low. Look, I'm not desperate to put everything in. There is a nice trend. Yeah, sure. If I pull back into here, I'd want to know about it. It's not likely going to happen as it's an 8 hour, and I've got a lot on my list, so I just don't feel the need to be putting anything in there that might be maybe subpar a little bit. I want the best opportunities. Again, here, GTC, what I'm looking at here is a bit of a funky looking chart. I want to see nice, clean flowing charts that don't have these little flat lines and little gaps. So again, it's an easy decision for me on GTC just to go past it. SRM has been hemorrhaging lower and lower and lower for quite some time. Here's that DeFi boom, $3.60 down to 80 cents. And you got to remember this, right? Because you can trade, and it's not just this particular project, it's a lot of them. We see this market run up. We can trade that long. We know that. We can just buy it and hodl, or we can trade it with margin. Now, whether you hodl or trade with margin, or, so whether you trade spot on gate or whether you trade margin on gate or the perp, it doesn't matter. The same principles come in. Knowing a good opportunity to enter and a good opportunity to exit, it's a big, big deal. It's a really big deal. And in this case, what I'm looking at right here is that, there was only part of the move up. Look, that's our move up. Everyone was rejoicing over that. What about that? That's a far greater move to the downside. This is what using margin's about. It's about unlocking different opportunities and access to trade different directions. Because this, gee whiz, what a great trend. It's just a shame it hasn't really given the entry. Maybe a little breakout through there. Let's have a look at the lower time frame here. Look, I do like this chart. I do like this trend. I have to put it in. Look at that 8 hour. Oops. The 4 hour cyclicity is fine. The 8 hour also looks quite good. And lamb. Again, a little bit too, just lacking a little bit of liquidity there. So that's okay. I'll just go straight past that. Again, Ant here, you can see a little bit funny there. If I go to the 1 hour, you'll see it very clearly. So if you're ever not sure or unclear, just go to the lower time frames. Just a bit of liquidity not happening right there at the minute for that particular market. Beautiful trend. Let's go to the 8 hour now. Not going to be touching that. It's more the daily. If I was to touch any of that. Okay. Just checking any questions there. No. Okay, cool. Kai, downtrending. I think it might be a little bit thin as well. Yes, I'm not a huge fan of that at the moment. It's what we've covered thus far is looking a lot better than what we're getting to at the moment, but that's okay. We're not going to stop. We'll keep looking. Nice. We are coming off the 8 hour might show a bit more clarity. Nice pullback. Again, doesn't quite have that market condition that I'm really after. This looks really nice. Again, lovely trend. Broke to lower high, lower low. Off we go. Beautiful. 8 hour. I would have really enjoyed seeing this pullback in a little bit further, getting that bearish candle and allowing an entry for me to get short. Now, it has not done that. Would I look at the 4? I can look at the 4. Would I trade the 4? My answer at this stage is it's not quite got what I would like to see for it to fit the rules for me to take a trade. So no. Okie doke. OMG. It's got to push lower for me to be involved, really. It's in that middle ground. It's pulled back in, a little bit funny on the liquidity. So again, it makes it a very easy decision for me on OMG. Where is OMG? Where are you? Oh, there we are, OCN. All right. Not interested here. Again, it's the wicks on the candles. It's the way the chart structure is moving. Look at this. See how it looks a little bit funny, weird. Look at it when you compare it to Bitcoin. See how it's just straight on Bitcoin. There's no little gaps and bits and bobs and whatnot. It's just a very clean, clear chart. Where was I? I was up to Pearl next, up 11%. Wow, this will be interesting. Let's just a straight up move. Okay. Yeah, it's a shame. It's not really what I'm after. A little bit strange looking on the chart structure. I'm happily going to be leaving that. Pearl, you don't make the cut. CNNS. Whoa. Okay, all over the shop, no strong cyclicity. The trend is not quite good enough there. It's not giving me the sorts of conditions that permit me to make trades and make money with a high probability of successful outcomes. And if I don't have that condition, I just won't trade. Big spike there on Iris. Let's look at the 8. Too thin, too spotty. Liquidity is the issue there. Blue Zell. Same thing, guys, a little bit gappy. The daily has a lovely trend. You can't deny that. The 8 hour has a lovely trend as well. What we don't like is that there's a little bit of liquidity potentially that we need on top of that for us to be trading. And it's not perfect, so if it's not going to fit the rules perfectly, I'm going to get rid of it. Oops, sorry. I just did Blue Zell. What am I up to? JST. Okay, daily trend, but again, whenever I see on the 8 hour some spottiness like this, it's a real easy pass for me. Seller or CELR. No, look at that. Can't do anything with that. I remember last time, the lower end down here. Obviously, not as many people seeing this or being involved in this. Therefore, a little bit less liquidity, but that's okay. We've got a heck of a list already. I'm not going to be interested here in kimchi. H bar. Again, too thin. This is the daily. Too many gaps. Too much risk associated with that. Oh, I'd already done H bar. Yeah, I did kimchi. There you go. Oops. Back up. Okay. On the daily again, I don't like these spikes, so I'm going to go short. Those spikes can represent points at which I can get taken out of the trade. And of course, I want to keep my capital. I don't want to lose my capital. I'll do everything I can to keep my hands on it. That's a fuel. There's no clean trend there for me. It's an easy leave. LRN. Another easy leave with this strange looking chart structure. It's not something of interest to me. And finally, GMAT. No, not enough there. So let's go back and have a look at our favorites list because we've got quite a few that are in there. I always have Bitcoin on my list because I want to see the Mac Daddy. I want to see what it has to say, what it's looking like, and how it's operating throughout the day. There is no trades there for me on Bitcoin just yet. Like I said, I'm much more likely to be interested in that. Sorry, let me just try that again. Oh goodness, I'm very much looking forward to the presidential election being over and having a result. I think at that moment in time, we may just see the markets come back to whatever they want to be. And I just feel a little bit more confident when trading in those directions because things can happen, things can change. Again, EOS, this here on the 4, little bearish candle right there. If it was to hold there, potential trades to short off of that. Second to that, we're looking at the 8-hour here. Deeper pullback could also be good, but either way, EOS representing opportunity potentially arriving in the not too distant future. Onto uni now, we're looking at the 4. I actually like the 8. I want to see it pull back a little bit further. The daily also very, very nice. Nothing there just yet, so no need to rush out and do anything at this stage. Just keep it in your list. BSV, I think we're looking at the 4. Again, lower high, bearish candle. Look, ultimately, I'd like to see it nestled a little bit deeper in, but this market at the moment, it is quite weak as a whole. You know, apart from Bitcoin, we're seeing a lot of falling. We're seeing a lot of things that are heading south. So not a lot of the time, you know, we're not getting a lot of pullback in depth. So I'm happy for you to keep an eye on that 4. Of course, work through your checklists to make this process a process and not a guessing game. Zcash, quite like that 12. Was the 4 as well? The 4 is worthy around 55. It's not set yet, but I will wait, I will watch, and I will be ready. This is a marvelous looking chart. I don't know why I started saying marvelous so much lately, but there you go. There you go. Back up into this region. If I could get that candle, that little red candle, up into there with a nice clean pullback, that would be my preference because that's a really sound looking chart. It's a great looking chart with great looking structure. And for me, that's important. It's a really nice chart. That's my, I have to say, as far as planning a trade, that up in here, a bearish candle cradle, that would be my favorite out of the lot. If I had a crystal ball and could make things happen, that's what I'd be going for. Beam, again, we're on the 8. If it pulls back up, and my drawing line left. If I just throw that in right there through that support, a pull back into there, very much I'm interested in. And as SRM keeps on falling, I just want my opportunity to join it. So a pullback, 95 cents back into that old support region would be really nice, or even back into 90 on that 4-hour chart as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, if you have not got this 4-part series, please do go and get that by simply going to tradercobb.com/gate.io. Follow Gate on Twitter for daily videos that I'm putting out. Also make sure you are on their YouTube to get access to that commentary that does come out. And while you're there, you may as well have a look at our YouTube, Trader Cobb, and look at the website, tradercobb.com. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic evening or day, and a little bit of exercising of caution is permitted at the moment. If you're going to take a trade, maybe reduce the risk a little bit, given that we do have a little bit of uncertainty out there around this election. Have yourself a fantastic day, night, evening, wherever it is in your world you are, and I will speak to you again very soon. It's been a pleasure. Bye for now.